Hello everyone, welcome back to SBR Pythons. Today we've got a clutch update for clutch 2 of the year, which was a black pewter pied to a cinnamon het pied. So there was 6 hatchlings, and if you remember we hatched all visual pieds, which was excellent odds. So we'll just go through, take a look at what's available, what's sold, and what I believe the genetics are. So let's crack into this. So we'll start off with hatchling number 1 from this clutch. So this is what I believe is a black pastel or cinnamon pastel pied. Now the reason that obviously this clutch is going to be black pastel or cinnamon is because we can't determine what is cinnamon and what is black pastel, so they're one or the other. Now this one I believe is pastel as well, from the sort of yellow sort of colour that's obviously coming through, and it does also have sort of grey eye stripes, but right now as you can see this animal is in shed. And this is a female, I believe. Yep. A female that will be available, or it is currently available. So this clutch are all ready to go now. They've all had sort of 6+ meals. Actually, that's a lie, sorry. There is one animal that I will be showing today that isn't quite ready to go. But we actually did hatch 2 of these. So let me just grab the other female for you. So as you can see, we hatched out 2 of the exact same combo, and these are both females. So if we also sex this one for you guys on camera, you can see this is also a female here, as you can see, and these are both black pastel or cinnamon pastel pieds. Now they're both in shed, I believe, but effectively both available, so do let me know if you guys are interested. Obviously it's a punt kicker as to whether you're getting black pastel or cinnamon. If you was to ask me, I would lean towards cinnamon, because as we'll go through the clutch today, you'll see we've got one definite black pastel and another one that I believe is black pastel, which leads me to believe these 2 are cinnamon because they're much higher white. This one is a pure white animal with just the head, and this one's obviously got that tiny little bit of tail pattern at the end there as well. But 2 black pastel or cinnamon pastel pied females. Next up, we have this female, and this is a black pastel or cinnamon pied, but this one doesn't have pastel, so you can see it's not got the yellow, and it's not got so much of the grey eye stripe. This one purely has sort of the black and brown head, as you can see. It's got quite a cool sort of paradox line down the centre of the head there, it must be said. And again, this is female, so if I just do a quick comparison for you of one of the females that I've just shown you, this is why I believe, obviously, these other 2 have the sort of pastel. So you can see sort of the difference in the head colour there. If I just bring this girl's head back out again for you. So you can see much darker there compared to the yellow on that. So this is why I believe these 2 that I just shown you are pastel as well. And as you can see, this female is slightly smaller, so this is the only one that is not currently ready to go. I am still assist feeding, sorry. She has had 3 assisted meals so far, so she's on her way now. It's just a case of getting her to take a meal on her own. But as you can see, 3 beautiful black pastel or cinnamon pieds that are all available on my Morph Market if you're interested. It's just a case of whether you're willing to take the risk on black pastel or cinnamon. Either way, you can still make a black and white animal, so it's just up to you really if you want to take the risk on it. But 3 beautiful high whites. Admittedly, high whites aren't for me, but genetically they've got the genes there to be powerhouses in the future. So moving on to the males, we had a perfect sex ratio of 3 males and 3 females. We have this male here, which is a pastel pied. So taking away from the black pastel and cinnamon for a second, this is just a straight pastel pied, and as I say, this one is male. I didn't sex the last female, but I assure you she is a female. As we'll see, hemipenes. There we go. So this is a pastel pied male. It's not the be all and end all of the genetics, but again, for someone who's coming into this, the way I see it and the way I feel when I sell surplus is, to me, this animal is not going to help me. It's not the right puzzle piece for my collection. But this animal right here might be a crown jewel, or like when I got my first pastel pied 3 years ago, it was such an excellent gene for me to pick up. So this might be a really cool animal for someone. Speaking of which, this male is available again on Morph Market, but just a pastel pied, so you can see sort of what the pastel's doing on its own. And obviously the black pastel or cinnamon in those 2 females that I showed you at the start of this video is taking that pattern out, unfortunately. But this is the line of pastel that is within those pastel, black pastel or cinnamon pastel pieds as well. And now we'll move on to what I think is the only, or I'm fairly sure, and now we'll move on to the only sort of confident black pastel or cinnamon pied that I can ID, which is, this is a black pastel pied male, and this one is actually sold. As you can imagine, this guy was snapped up pretty quick because it does have some decent pattern for a black pastel pied. And the reason I can say confidently this is a black pastel pied is obviously this is the stereotypical black pastel pied pattern. And again, having a little bit more pattern just gives me that reassurance that this is a black pastel. This boy is a male, as I say. Unfortunately, because to be honest, although I'm not looking to do much with with black pastel, if this had been a female, which I'm just popping it again, it is definitely male. Yeah, there you go. He was just holding back a little bit. This is definitely a male. If this had been a female, I would have added this to the whole back racks just because sort of look at this sort of copper colour you get with black pastel pied. It's absolutely stunning. And as I say, this boy is fortunate enough to carry some more of those saddles. You know, it has got some nice pattern, admittedly. So this boy is sold. It's going off to a nice gentleman who is getting, I think, if I'm not mistaken, getting into the hobby. And this is a great animal to pick up. And what I also like is that he's already said that his kids are absolutely looking forward to getting this animal. So really, really happy to hear that as well. But a nice black pastel pied male. And finally, the final male of the clutch is this black pastel or cinnamon pastel pied. And this one I would lean towards the black pastel for two reasons. One, again, you've got some pattern, which is like the last black pastel pied. But also, this saddle here, I will have to be careful, this boy will bite me. This saddle here is very similar to the previous black pastel that I've just shown you, and it's that stereotypical black pastel pattern. And again, as you can see, a nice little boy there for someone to pick up, because this boy is available. Again, if it was female with that pattern, I probably would have kept it, but this just shows you what the pastel's doing here. If I just compare it to the previous animal shown, if he wants to come back into the frame. So that's your black pastel or cinnamon, or I basically say black pastel, black pewter pied effectively. And then that's the black pastel pied next to him. So you can see what that pastel's doing, bringing in those greys and changing up the colour. So really, really cool to see what's going on. And again, unfortunately these are males, but you know, this means that this one is available for someone on Morph Market, and this boy here is going off to a customer. But that is effectively the clutch. Really, really happy with how this clutch came out. You know, obviously we did smash the the odds. As you saw in the video, you know, I was pretty ecstatic to get 6 back-to-back to Pieds from a visual to a het. Really, really happy with those results. But unfortunately, yeah, no holdbacks from this, because the ones that would have been holdbacks, which are on screen now, are unfortunately males. And I've obviously got the black pewter pied father, so I don't need them. But what I would say just quickly on this black pastel line as I hold this boy to the camera is the original breeder in Holland has produced panda pieds, healthy panda pieds, with this line of black pastel for 3 years in a row. So I'm very confident this is a great line of black pastel. So yes, obviously, as I say, it is a bit of a pump with the females, but I would say this boy here is a 90% sure that that's a black pastel in the frame now. But yeah, guys, let me know if you're interested in any of them. But other than that, keep your eye out. We've got plenty of videos coming with clutch reveals, a couple more egg cuttings. So keep your eyes peeled and we'll see what's come to the channel. Thank you very much for your support, guys. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.